Hi everybody, welcome back to the bookshop. My name is Shelley. Tonight I'm doing a quick little flip through of this butterfly journal. It's a hardcover, ring bound. I used a book. It's a guide identification book for the butterflies and moths of Britain and Europe. I did 3 of these. There's one on flowers and one on birds. The bird one still has a lot of work. It was the prototype, so I had to redo a lot of stuff. But it's got a little specimen tag here hanging from a bulb pin. Originally I had it on one of these little bead chains, but I didn't like how floppy it was. So I did some layering on the cover, sheet music, corrugated cardboard, cheesecloth. There's some lace here. The filigree pieces in the corner, some of that leaf ribbon. This is an old rose. It was bigger. I took it apart and redid it to make the flowers smaller. And then a little wooden butterfly. And this butterfly, he moves. I just glued down the back wing so that he would move. I've had this for quite a few years. Dollar Tree item, but I don't think they have them anymore. I wish they did because the coloring is so pretty. And it was kind of the jumping off for the cover. It's quite thick. There's lace on some of the edges, but I wanted you to see the button trim. Here, we'll undo this. This is some sorry silk. And this, I saw Pam at the Paper Outpost did this little button trim. And I thought it was so cute, and I thought it was perfect for this journal. You'll see the colors are almost exact match. The burgundy matches this too. But the journal's divided up into kind of like sections, where you get a bag, a journal, and an envelope, and then another bag, journal, envelope, or bag, journal, envelope, and a divider. You'll see. Anyway, so here we did some more specimen tags. These 2 came from Caroline's Craft Tree. She has a bunch of these, this shape, and a bunch of labels. This one I just made. This is kind of like the stamp collector or coin collector envelopes, but you can make your own of these if you have a circle punch. You just have to cut out a square and a circle. So this flips open. There's a little butterfly tag here. And then there's a big tag in here. This is from a collage board I made. A little label added. They all can be written on the back. Every tag. There's lots of tags. There's lots of paper. You'll see there's a lot of writing room. But then there's also quite a bit of tags. This is another version of a specimen card. Last year I thought I was going to try to do the 100-day challenge, but it was too much for me. I admit it. I just couldn't keep up. If I had continued to do it, I did it for 3 or 4 days, I wouldn't have time to do anything else. I'm just not fast enough. Here's a set of tags. The tags come from everywhere, so I'm not going to say where they come from, but aren't these beautiful? They're so pretty. Okay, so we flip this back, and then this is a glassine bag. It's been embossed. I'm not sure you can see. You can see on this side I colored the raised embossed area. And so here's a tag from this bag. This is a napkin. It's been decoupaged. It's one of my favorites. Isn't it beautiful? So you can write on the back. This little never piece, that's a Artie Mays. It's one of her freebies on her Facebook group. Another tag. Pretty butterflies. Yeah, I didn't use a kit. I just used, butterfly tags from everywhere. Tags and journaling cards that I have collected over the years. And then this paper is from the, it's an old paper pad, Paper House. It's called Field Study. And I used all different ones. I didn't use paper. I think I used another sheet of Paper House somewhere. I made this from, see the number here? This is in a book at the beginning of a chapter. This was chapter 34. This book had a ton of chapters, like 60 of them. And so I cut out that part of the book where the numbers were to make labels with them. So most of this is that's just plain cardstock. This is a piece of that collage board. This is Sarah Davies' English Country Garden, and I used a lot of this paper in this journal. That's an Artie Mays piece, and this I made from an old greeting card. Isn't that pretty? I just covered. I cut out this piece. It had the greeting on it, the writing, because I originally thought I was going to make this into a pocket, and then I just decided I liked it for writing. So, lots of tags and journaling cards, space to write. And then we've got the first, well, not the first because there's some in the beginning, but this envelope. This is one of the sections. It has a bag, a journal, an envelope, and a divider. And then we'll have another section that has those. This is decoupage. So pretty. It's like my favorite napkin. It just worked out so good too. It's got the flowers, the butterflies, the script. It's kind of like got all of our junk journal favorites. And I've closed it with a magnet. This little idea here is from Izzy B. So in here, I made a little journaling card using another napkin. A lot of decoupage in these. And then this is these are Artie Mays. I think this is from the Butterflies in Blue kit. And then I put in a bunch of pages from the book. And these are the beginning of the book. I think it goes all the way through from page 3 to page 16. But there's lots of, this shows you all the different categories of butterflies. Aren't those pretty? And then after that, you get the introduction and you get a bunch of information on the life history and how they reproduce. And so I thought those were some of the interesting pages to include. And then we've got the first divider. Little magnet. This has just a little tuck spot. And 3 more tags from the collage. I did a big sheet of collage for this. This paper is Kirby Teasdale Studio. And I used it for making tags and stuff in this journal. And then some lace. And this is where that button trim is. And this is what I was talking about, the colors. The blues and greens and this burgundy. It's like the exact colors of this paper. So pretty. This little pocket is made from Artie Mays' Shabby Chic kit. A journal I did way back, and I had this piece. And there's a lot of blue in this journal, which was really one of the reasons I chose this pocket. And then some butterfly tags, and one made from that paper. So this here is like a homemade bag made from some newsprint. And I also saw this on Pam at the Paper Outpost. So I learned the butterfly, or the button trim, and this little bag were both things. I love watching her. She makes some good stuff. I made some dresses watching her out of napkins. They're so pretty. Anyway, this is just a mini journal. This is that Sarah Davies English Country Garden. Most of these papers are really old, so I don't know if you can still even get them. I was kind of just went through what I had to make these journals when I first started making them, which I first started making them probably a year ago. And then they got put aside. I didn't do much for the last year. Watched videos and tried to learn how to make my journals prettier and more interesting. So this has just all kinds of kind of like scrap paper. Very neutral, but all good for writing. And this goes in this little bag. So yeah, each bag divider, most of them only have one pocket. I see this one has a pocket on each side. But I stopped doing both sides, and I didn't do all of the signatures. I only did the first one because it started to get so fat. This is one of the collage tags. This is from, I know, Bountiful Heirlooms, because it's one of my favorites. She has the prettiest. She's got a bunch of really pretty stuff on her website. She has like a blog or something. Bountiful Heirlooms. Oh, she's on Etsy too, I believe. This is a paper I made when I first started. I made a lot of different papers, and then I lost them on the, well, I didn't lose them, but the little storage device, it got bent, so I don't know how to retrieve them. Scrapbook paper. Oh, I didn't show you. Oh, I didn't even open. I'm sorry. God, I'm not really here. The first journal, I didn't open it. Okay, they're skinny, but all of the papers are folded. So this paper I made from inking, from watching Jabidneri. So that's where your paper length is. Every piece is probably folded. Some of them in thirds, some of them more. Really dark pink avocado dyed paper. Graph paper. But see how most everything, I think it worked out so it's just divided in thirds. This is a really old vintage paper. I can see the watermark. It says Cranes, and it says it's 100% cotton. So there's a lot of paper in here. They each have one of these. Coffee dyed paper, notebook paper. This purple paper I made from blackberries. Yeah. Not this past summer, but the year before is when I made these papers, the blackberry papers. So that's when I probably made this journal. And then it's got another book page. And then this is just the other half of all the folded papers. On this side, they're regular size. So yeah, everything was folded in thirds, and you got 2/3 on that side. And then this is the other side of the inked paper. That's a fern. I'm sorry. So now we're gonna go back to the second signature. This one has the coolest. I love this paper, and I'm gonna do a video. This is faux handmade paper. How to make handmade paper if you don't want to do all the work. And isn't that cool? I stamped some butterflies on it before I added my stuff. But yeah, faux handmade paper. And then, like the other one, these are all folded, sometimes more than once, because the papers might be long. Ledger paper, coffee dyed paper, another book page. This one's got a doily, antique doily. And this is another inked page. And the other side of the faux handmade paper. This envelope, this is a glassine envelope, and I decoupaged a napkin onto it. I love these colors. They go really good with this paper too. And then I fussy cut these two little butterflies so that I could have them going off the edge onto the paper. And it's just got, I think, a couple little tags. These are old. Some of the first, one of the very first kits I ever bought. Ephemera's Vintage Garden. That's where those came from. And the colors are all weird and stripy because I love to print when I'm running out of ink. or when I'm out of a color. It makes such interesting colors. I love to do that. And then this is a collage page. I like this because you so rarely use white, but I made that with white ink. I stamped it. And then I went over it with a paintbrush using the white ink. And you can use white paint, but I have white ink and I never get to use it. This is that Kirby Teasdale paper. I think actually this is a different one from this one, yeah. But they're both from the Kirby Teasdale Studio paper pad. And then some tags. Pretty butterfly tags. That's just a tuck spot. And then we've got a bag in each side. There's some stuff. This is an actual vintage bingo card. And then this is a design of mine and Ephemera's Vintage Garden. I wasn't going to stay where everything came from because I didn't think I'd remember. But this side has another Ephemera's Vintage Garden. That's another piece that I designed. And then a collage tag with a butterfly, black butterfly sticker. It's been sewn around. I think there was some sewing on some different stuff. I didn't even pay attention to that. And this is, hey. He barks when he hears something. This is Tim Holtz. So you can see this matches. I use the Tim Holtz paper for this third journal or signature. Some more of the inked paper. It's got a butterfly on it. Some leaves. I'll go through. And then there's paper, just like the other ones. Avocado dyed. Boy, this is so dark. Coffee dyed graph paper. Some more of that cotton paper. This is a vintage where you used to write down the phone calls from from an office. Phone number, subject, follow up. More blackberry dyed paper and books from the book page from the book. This is rose from a rose bush. Those leaves. And then I got one of those little bulldog, is it called? And the last is a little, like a little pocket. It's been decoupaged. That's another pretty napkin. But it's got, it was decoupaged onto dictionary paper. So you can see the words back there. I think that looks pretty cool. And this is just a set of 12 small cards. All different butterflies and moths. And then they're all blank on the back. I actually printed lines on these for writing. And you can write on the back of this also. And then the last page, the cover, this pocket was made from one of the book pages. And then this is another specimen tag with my favorite butterfly. And then these have real pressed flowers. This is a hydrangea. And I think this is a California poppy. And then, what are they? Petunias, I believe. But yeah, I thought those turned out real pretty with the purple butterflies. So I just have some collage paper. I'll just background, and they got sewn around and backed with the manila drawing paper. I love this paper. It's got a cool texture, cool color. So, yep, 2 of those are good sized tags for writing on. And then the little specimen card. And that's it. That's the butterfly journal. There is a flower one, but I think I'll do it separately. I think it's just too long if I try and do it together. But there it is. So thanks for watching. Maybe, you know, come back and watch when I do my tutorial for the faux handmade paper. Should be good. It's easy to make, and it turns out it's really cool. At least I think so. If you liked it, you know, we'll see how to make it. Show you how to make something like this. Okay? All right, everybody. Thanks. See you later. Bye.